What's up, you guys? It's Hostile Carrot here with the best Monster Energy Supercross 6 tutorial available on YouTube. In this video, I'll be covering literally everything you need to know if you want to be as fast as the pros on Monster Energy Supercross 6. A lot of work went into this video, so if you found it helpful at all, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. I hope y'all enjoy. Let's get right into it. Career mode does not affect online performance. Completing training missions in career mode does not affect your speed in online lobbies. There's no need to complete career mode if you want to be fast on the game. If you're not running on the fully upgraded fastest bike, you won't keep up with the people who are. Use factory edition bikes if it's an option in the FMF pipe. The KTM FE is the fastest 450. The Gas is serviceable. Some people like it. I'm not a huge fan. So either the KTM or the Gas on 450. Gas and Honda are the fastest 250s. Again, make sure you're using the FE bike if it is an option. FE stands for Factory Edition, being the fastest retail version of that bike. Also, upgrade all the components of your bike. Your KTM 450 FE bike stats should look like this. Frankly, I didn't want to mention this one because people put way too much emphasis into it. First of all, and I cannot express enough, bike setups barely matter on this game. It does matter, but barely. You might be able to shave a couple tenths of a second off your lap time with a perfect bike setup, but your skill set on the game is so much more important than your bike setup. Turning on this game does feel lethargic. When I was creating a bike setup that worked with my KTM FE 450, I was focused on finding something that cornered quickly while still being stable at high speeds. This is the bike setup I primarily run. 2 notes, this setup probably only works well with the KTM 450 FE. Additionally, if I'm running Atlanta, Daytona, Glendale, or a high-speed custom track, I'll bump my gear ratio to medium and lengthen my 3rd, 4th, and 5th gears by 1 or 2 clicks to match those long, fast straightaways. You should be playing this game on advanced physics with no assists. When you play the game on standard physics, the bike is much less maneuverable. This means you can't abuse the physics to your advantage with tricks like the wheelie glitch and scrub cancel. Additionally, the bike corners slower on standard physics. Keeping your back wheel on the ground as much as possible is a key to success in these games, and it's only really possible on advanced physics. Standard physics limits agility on straightaways and in the corners. Also, some of the fastest techniques in this game just simply are not possible on standard physics. You simply will never get as fast as the top guys if you play on standard physics. It is not possible, so don't bother playing on standard physics if you want to get fast at this game. You need to be playing this game with manual shifting. You are smarter than a computer. One of the best examples of this is hitting a triple out of a corner. 2nd gear is almost certainly sufficient to clear the jump. However, if you're on automatic shifting, you may hit the rev limiter at the base of the jump, so the game will shift you into 3rd gear as you're going up the jump, meaning you have a lull in your acceleration. You bog going up the jump, causing you to come up short for no reason when you would have easily cleared it in 2nd gear. It takes a little bit of time to get used to manual shifting. Frankly, it's easier to learn on MXGP because there's less jumps, but I promise you manual shifting is faster and it's necessary for the next 2 techniques I'm going to discuss. Engine braking is another reason you should be playing this game in manual shifting. The concept of engine braking is pretty simple. If you're going super fast and suddenly shift down to 1st or 2nd gear, the change of your gears alone will cause the bike to slow down without applying the brakes. This is super helpful because using the brakes will cause you to slide, especially on Supercross 6 out of any game in the series, whereas you are unlikely to lose any traction from engine braking. Huge pro tip, if you're hitting a jump and landing in a corner, you're going to turn a lot easier upon landing if you use the engine braking instead of the brakes because you won't slide. The 5th gear in the whoops glitch only works with advanced physics and manual shifting, which is another reason you should be using both. The 5th gear in the whoops tactic is very, very, very fast. a certain way to shave perhaps a full second off your lap time. For this technique to work, it's imperative you enter the whoop section with as much speed as possible. As soon as your front wheel hits the first whoop, hold both sticks down to shift your rider weight back and shift up to 5th gear as quickly as possible. You should skim across the top of each whoop on the back wheel. For shorter whoop sections, 4th gear may be sufficient. Experiment with it and figure out what's fastest for you. Huge pro tip here, 5th gear in the whoops works best when your back wheel hits every single whoop. If you find that you're going so fast you're occasionally skipping over a whoop, that means you're probably going to be better off going slightly sideways through the whoop section. If you're kind of starting on the left, drifting to the right throughout the whoop section, or starting on the right, drifting to the left, you actually make the gaps between the whoops longer so that you're more likely to get your back wheel on every single whoop. Because it's necessary to bump up to 5th gear every time you enter the whoops, you need to be able to shift up while holding both sticks back. If you have paddles on the back of your controller, honestly, the paddles are ideal for shifting. I don't use paddles though, so I use the A button to shift up and the B button to shift down. I find that I can hold the right stick down with the tip of my right thumb while tapping the A button with the middle of my thumb. As long as you can shift up while holding the right stick back, you should be set up for success. Cornering on this game certainly feels lethargic, but at least it's pretty simple. To lean the bike over and corner quicker, all you have to do on this game is gently press the right stick the same direction you are turning. The most important aspect of cornering on this game is actually exit speed, the speed with which you are leaving the corner. If you're focusing on leaving every corner with as much speed as possible, you are setting yourself up for success in every rhythm section. There's really only 2 turn strategies here you need to keep in mind. For the big bowl berms, enter the corner on the outside, shift down to 2nd as you approach to slow the bike down, lean the rider in the direction of the corner with the right stick, and get back on the gas as early as possible without running off the track. Basically, you want to enter the corner wide, stay wide through the whole corner so you carry as much speed through the berm as possible and exit with as much speed as possible. However, for flat corners, you want to enter the corner wide so you're approaching the turn from the outside, cut through the inside as you're going through the turn, and then you'll slide back to the outside as you exit the corner. Again, you're just focusing on keeping as much momentum through that corner as possible so you set yourself up for the best possible scenario in the rhythm section. It's an unfortunate reality of this game, but this game is played the fastest when you're riding on the back wheel as much as possible. It does make sense. All of your power comes from the back wheel. So when you're exiting corners, you want to gently lean the right stick back so you hook up with as much traction as possible when you're coming out of the corners. It's also very helpful to lean back as you exit corners because it's going to put you in a good position to do a wheelie glitch or scrub cancel, which we're about to cover. Just be careful not to lean back too far. You only need to lean back a little bit to generate maximum traction. If you lean back too much, you may feel the bike begin to bog down a little bit, or you may even loop out. The shortest distance between any 2 points is a straight line. This means between left and right, you should focus on going as straight as possible through rhythm sections. This also means between up and down, you should focus on going as straight as possible through rhythm sections. There are 2 key skills you need to learn in order to stay as low as possible through rhythm sections. First, you should be doing a wheelie glitch as much as possible. Some people call it a wheelie glitch. I prefer to think of it as pre-manualing, very common BMX racing technique or strategy. Regardless, the way it works, as you're approaching a jump, lean the rider back so the rider approaches the jump on the back tire. You should basically be wheeling towards the jump. Because you're doing a wheelie towards the jump, your front tire should never actually touch the lip of the jump. As soon as your front tire goes over the lip of the jump, smack both sticks forward and you should lurch forward in the air more than upward. Once you've mastered the wheelie glitch, it's time to work on the scrub cancel. Whereas the wheelie glitch is relatively easy because it doesn't really mess you up from staying in a perfectly straight line, the scrub cancel is actually a much more difficult technique, as it's relatively difficult to scrub cancel and remain perfectly straight. Regardless, the scrub cancel is the single most important technique for maintaining maximum speed through rhythm sections. A perfectly executed scrub cancel utilizes and builds upon the wheelie glitch, except, as you should imagine, a scrub cancel involves a scrub and canceling the scrub before the rider ever even enters the air. In order to scrub cancel, you basically do a wheelie glitch, so you lean the rider back as you approach the jump so the front wheel is in the air. When you're at the very base of the lip, click the sticks apart to initiate the scrub, and then click the sticks together as quickly as possible to cancel the scrub before you ever even go in the air. Then your front wheel should still be kind of in the air because you were doing a wheelie glitch, so you smack both sticks forward. You get the benefit of the wheelie glitch, which you've been practicing and mastering, and you've added a scrub to the wheelie glitch. You canceled it. Your trajectory should be super low and forward and very fast. Regarding trajectory, it should be noted that the earlier you scrub cancel, the shorter the distance you'll jump. So try to keep this in mind and catch as much backside as possible every time you land. And since you're already scrub canceling when you land, just go ahead and land in a wheelie so you're perfectly set up to scrub cancel the next jump. In general on this game, you should be trying to stay as low as possible. However, I can think of two key instances where a seat bounce is a very useful technique. First, especially on custom tracks, there's a lot of triples that are just pretty big and you might not be able to clear it consistently. Also, say a rhythm section is triple and you case the first triple, sometimes you can use the seat bounce to maintain your rhythm and still make the second triple. In order to seat bounce, all you do is hold both sticks down as you're approaching a jump, and once you're at the very top of the jump, mash both sticks forward. It'll give you a little bit of extra height on your jump and it'll make your trajectory a little bit longer, so hopefully you don't come up short on that huge triple. Proper usage of time attack is the single easiest way to get faster on this game. When I say proper use of time attack, say you're running a 50-second lap time on a track and the fastest lap time ever on that track is a 46. You're not going to be setting yourself up for success to just go against the number one overall in the world of 40 seconds lap time when you're running a 50-second lap time, because you're kind of so far back, you're not really going to be able to keep up and see what the other rider is doing. What you should be doing is go against someone who ran a 49-second lap time and play against them until you can keep up with them. Then try a 48-second lap time, play with them until you can keep up with them, so on and so on. If you've learned all the techniques I've shared in this video, eventually you too could be number one on the time attack leaderboard. If you see someone consistently running heaters in public lobbies and you're struggling to keep up, send them a message or a party invite and see if they're down to play with you. In my experience, a lot of the guys who are super fast on this game are super nice. They'd be glad to run laps with you and give you some pointers. Definitely feel free to hit me up if you see me online. Consistency is key. Crash in practice, not races. If you're getting bummed out because you've been getting lapped by some guys in public lobbies, try to remember they've probably been playing this series since its inception, so they are super fast and they are not crashing. If you crash, you're losing at least 2 seconds on that lap time, potentially as much as 5 or even more. If you're running consistent 47-second lap times and another guy's running 45-second lap times, but he's crashing over and over again, those 2 to 5 seconds lost per crashes are going to add up and you're actually going to beat them, because consistency is key. Get your laps in and one day soon, you'll be that guy. I hope you've all enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful. I definitely hope you've learned something. Please let me know in the comments if you did learn anything or if you feel like I left something out. For my next video series, I'm going to be doing a Does Your Custom Track Suck series, so please let me know in the comments if you want me to rate one of your custom tracks. I've also recently purchased a PC and been playing MX bikes, so I do have some really exciting stuff cooking up for y'all, and I look forward to catching y'all soon. Peace.